Well, Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin today, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a look at whether altcoin season is in full swing. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance. We're going to take a look at some charts as we always do. It is December 9th, Tuesday. You're watching the Coinzone on Crypto with Paul, second live stream of the day. If you're tapped in with us right now, make sure to sub to the channel and like this video. Let's get right into it. You are looking at Coinbase. And you are looking at Bitcoin up 4% on the day, but ETH up close to 8% on the day. That is a good sign, ladies and gentlemen. As we know, first live that we covered today, midnight drop today. The sentiment overall on CoinMarketCap is midnight and Cardano. Two altcoins. Good to see. So, what is happening though overall? We take a look at Ash Crypto. ETH is heavily outperforming Bitcoin. This is a big sign of utility season. All right, let's keep it moving. This is directly from X. Ethereum breaks past 3,300 on whale bets. The cryptocurrency rose over 5% in the past 24 hours as of Tuesday afternoon. That is today. If you guys haven't realized, if you're living under a rock like Patrick Starr, holding steady above 3,100 support and technical patterns like falling wedges. Whales opened leverage bets equivalent to $136,000 ETH on platforms including Hyperliquid and Binance, with standout trades like 54,515 ETH at 5x leverage. So again, people just want to gamble. Love to see it, maybe. All right, but either way, guys, let's keep it moving. This is a big chart right here. When it comes to alt season, you have to start here with Bitcoin dominance. All right. Now, Bitcoin is going to continue to do its thing. We see Michael Saylor out in the Middle East right now meeting with sovereign wealth funds. We see banks offering collateral now. You know, Coinbase is doing their thing. The CFTC just came out with a statement, right? Bitcoin, USDC, and Ethereum. There's a lot happening on all fronts with Bitcoin, with ETH, and with altcoins. We're about to see over 100 ETFs pretty soon. In 2026, you know, we're about to see market clarity bill. This was announced just recently. All right, Kristen Gillibrand and Cynthia Lummis, a bipartisan take there, right? Democrats and Republicans coming together. And we can soon, possibly by the end of next week, supposedly, or by the end of the year, before Christmas time, we can see market clarity bills passed, aka the Clarity Act. All right, so just more positive legislation for the crypto space. And that would be extremely bullish, guys. Not for Bitcoin, because basically Bitcoin's already grandfathered in. Even Gary Gins is out here saying, you know, Bitcoin's daddy, everything else, We just heard Kevin O'Leary, Bitcoin's daddy, ETH is daddy, 2.0, I guess. They're both daddies. They're both in a 2025 relationship. There's two dads, right? And then everything else is nonsense. We covered that on yesterday's live. Tons of different ways to look at this. However, for me, guys, this is just bullish for altcoins in general. Now, let's move forward, okay? What's going on right now with Bitcoin dominance? Altcoin dominance at support versus Bitcoin. This monthly chart shows others/BTC still holding long-term green support, just like 2019 and just like 2020, guys. Okay, historic bounces followed from this level. Reversal could spark major altcoin season ahead. Now, if ETH continues just to outperform Bitcoin towards the end of the year, I think we will see some reversals. What is going on, guys? Joining the stream now. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. Make sure to hit me in the comments. Let's discuss this together. Ask me questions, comments, concerns. I don't know. Let's just shoot the shit together. All right, this is the Coinzone on Crypto with Paul. Make sure to follow us here on social medias as well. You can see it on the bottom scroll. We're trying to reach 3,000 subs before the end of the year, so help us get there, guys. We're trying to get more subs than Jamie Dimon. And no one likes Jamie Dimon. If you want us to have more subs than Jamie Dimon, then help us out, okay? Let's get there together. That sounded like a slogan. Let's get there together. This message was sponsored by the Coinzone. All right, you get the picture, guys. We're looking at Bitcoin dominance charts. Are we getting altcoin season soon? Let's continue this. We might be approaching the end of Bitcoin's dominance over the crypto market. After nearly 2 years of trending inside a clean rising channel, Bitcoin dominance has now officially broken below the lower boundary of that structure. This first major sign of weakness came when dominance lost its 2-week 20 EMA, a level that held the entire uptrend together. Now, this is super, super bullish, guys. Extremely bullish. Okay. And for starters, let's just go back to this. We're looking at Coinbase. ETH is outperforming Bitcoin, and that's a good sign to come. We're seeing a lot of institutional interest right now. Anthony Scaramucci is coming out making comments about Solana, about Avalanche. We're seeing, again, ETFs, Hedera, right? Outside of Bitcoin, we're seeing a ton of interest. Hedera, whether it's Solana, Grayscale is launching their own thing. We have Vanguard just announced things outside of Bitcoin, not just Bitcoin. Charles Schwab. There's a lot of interest now with the average institution, the average person now. Retail is a little shaken out, which is disheartening and kind of stinks to see, because a lot of people are going to miss out on these levels and then FOMO back in when Bitcoin reaches a new all-time high. You're going to hate to see it. However, the interest, institutional and retail-wise, is starting to come, and it's starting to be, outside of Bitcoin. Just the other day, all right, I was around some individuals, some kids my age. They found out I was this crypto guy. So what did they say? What should I buy here? What did they ask me? They didn't ask me about Bitcoin, guys. That looks so dumb. Forget I did that. They didn't ask me about Bitcoin, guys. They asked me about, what do they ask me about? XRP. They asked me about Ethereum. They asked me about Solana. Okay, so what did I tell them? Well, find out after the break. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. But I did tell them, look, there is utility in the space outside of Bitcoin. Everything else is not just a scam. Most of it is. The term vaporware, we've commonly heard in this space before. There's a lot of vaporware. There's a lot of pump and dumps. There's a lot of scams. Just like the early days in Web 2.0, guys. Again, I've made this analogy tons of times before. Google was the 14th search engine. Can anybody name the other ones? Can anybody in the comments right now name the other ones? No. Yahoo, sure, great. Bing, sure, great. What are the other ones? They're gone, guys. You're going to see the same thing here in cryptocurrency. In 5 years, in 10 years, a lot of these things are not going to be around. And that's a fact. And a lot of them are going to come out to be scams. You're going to see more people go to jail, probably. You're going to see a lot of bad things, unfortunately. But that's why we do the work here on the Coinzone. So you guys don't get poo-pooed, all right? Like Kevin O'Leary said yesterday, the poo-poo coins, right? Most of them are poo-poo, guys, not all of them. And we're here to tell you. We're here to help you decipher, make that decision. What's poo-poo and what's not poo-poo? What is actually good with the real utility, with solid developers, with a great team behind it, with great fundamentals? What's going to be here to last? And that's what we're interested in. And the interesting thing is the sectors to look within this space. We talk a lot about, as we did yesterday with some individuals on the stream, whether it was Chief the Yorkie, I forget who was commenting. But what is it, guys? We're going to see RWA, AI, privacy coins, especially RWA, real world assets, and AI. You're going to see two very big spaces with a lot of competition over the next 5 or 10 years. Now, again, it's going to be similar to the Googles. What's going to last and what isn't going to last. This is the name of the game in crypto, guys. Trying to pick the right things. Now, this is pretty crazy to see here. Mr. Beast coin, guys. Mr. Beast. Beast-based coin onboarding the next 1 million users to Base, collaborating with strong projects on Base, while the Base Beast coin is providing utility via Telegram bot services for other projects and members of the Base ecosystem. Now, this has been around since October. Mr. Beast I'm a huge fan, but he's been in the limelight as of late for being a plant, etc. He's doing things with the Rockefeller philanthropy situation. There's a lot going here, guys. Shout out Mr. Beast. I'm a huge fan. It is what it is. I don't know if anyone feels differently. I don't really care. I like Mr. Beast. I think he's a great person. He's done great things for the world. I don't believe the conspiracies. But you have individuals like Mr. Beast with insane influence getting into this space. Okay, and even if these individuals who he will onboard are just going to buy Beast Coin at first or meme coins or something silly, the amount that are actually going to get sticky and actually do their research and then realize what real utility is, what's happening here with this space, he's still going to onboard millions who are eventually going to get it. Okay, so a lot of crazy things going on right now. And a lot of it's happening with altcoins, which has been our main focus here, guys. So why don't we just take a look at what the top 50 is doing so far. Let's refresh in case we didn't get up to date here. So far, guys, Bitcoin is still up 3% now. ETH is up double that, close to 8%, 7.5%. Rest of the market is doing all right. Cardano leading the way at almost 10% so far because of the midnight launch. It's great to see that 8 of the top performing asset in the top 10. Over 10% now, guys. ADA is up over 10%, which is actually leading, let's see, so far, the top 20. So far, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, ADA is basically the top performing asset in the top 50 right now, which is great to see because, as you guys know, I'm a big ADA holder, so it's a good day for me. And shout out to Midnight. You know, it was the first live that we did today. You guys let me know what you think about Midnight privacy coins in the comments. But ADA is the top performing coin right now. Because of this, I'm still going. I haven't seen anything else over 10% today. Wow. ADA is having a day, guys. Why don't we just go over to top gainers and losers here on Coinbase. Top gainers, Mr. Beast Coin at 11%. We have Terra Luna Classic. I don't understand why people still mess around with anything Terra related. I really don't understand it. But you have all these random altcoins, guys, that are doing damn good. ADA is not even on this list. I don't even know why it's on this list. Excuse me. Mr. Beast is up 111%. That's crazy. But very interesting to see the top gainers, top losers. I mean, if you're in one of these, you might want to second guess it. But it's very interesting to see. As I said, guys, ADA and Midnight are number 1 and number 2 trending on CoinMarketCap right now. And we're seeing ETH outperform Bitcoin. So right now could be leading the way for altcoin season heading into 2026. Now, if we want to further this sentiment with what's going on in the space, let's start here. Kathy Wood of ARK Invest. Shout out to Kathy. Super cool. I like Kathy. You know, she might not have made the best trades sometimes, but that's any trader. No one wins forever, guys. Kathy Wood thinks that Bitcoin has bottomed. It's only up for here. 2026, we're going to see a super cycle. Okay, that's what people think. And I'm not talking about just anybody. Okay, I have this written down. It's crap. It's over there. There's a lot of individuals talking about a super cycle. All right. Who are these individuals? CZ, Raoul Pal, Kathy Wood, Lynn Alden. Grayscale is even saying it. The world's highest IQ holder. Okay, are you guys ready for this? The world's current highest IQ holder, Young Hoon Kim, says Bitcoin and crypto are entering a bull run. This guy's heavily bullish on cryptocurrency, Bitcoin specifically. So, I mean, that makes me a little happy. I'm not going to lie there, guys. Chief the Yorkie, what's going on? Thanks for tapping back in. But to be realistic, let's be honest about this. I have been seeing this guy's damn name for like months now. This guy is super bullish on Bitcoin. If this is legit, maybe we should do some more digging. I mean, it's been months. No one's debunked that this guy is fake or anything like that. The world's highest IQ holder, Young Hoon Kim, is super bullish on Bitcoin, guys. And, I don't know what my IQ is, but it's definitely not as close as that guy's. So that's definitely a bullish sign right there. Now, the thing is, when it comes to discussing what is going on with the current markets, are we in a bear market? Are we not? Are the 4-year cycles done? Well, listen, guys, as I mentioned, this is Grayscale. Grayscale says Bitcoin may be breaking away from its traditional 4-year cycle, with institutions now driving the market. Is retail becoming less influential in shaping Bitcoin's macro trends? Let me put this bluntly. No shit. Yes, they are. Okay. And let me say why. You and I retail, everyone listening today, if we all went and bought Bitcoin today, great. How much would it come out to? We're not rich, guys. Probably a couple thousand, 10,000, 20,000. I don't know. BlackRock goes and buys like a couple $100 million in a day. Does it compare? Not at all. Institutions have not been stopping. And unfortunately, retail has been the one that's been scared and shaken out of the market. So again, guys, if you want to get into these assets and hold them for long term, do it alongside the BlackRocks and the institutions. Stop letting them win. Win alongside them. If you've been paying attention since, realistically, since 2023, when BlackRock first got into it, now everybody and their mother, we saw 2 weeks ago, last week, whatever it was, Vanguard, Charles Schwab, everyone's like, crap. Yeah, I think we have to get on board with this. They're all joining, guys. Hey, what do you think about this? Do I think about what? Let me know specifically what you're talking about, Chief. What I think about, I agree. It seems like the 4-year cycles were driven by liquidity, not the halving. There we go. I think there needs to be some new kind of technology inventing to seamlessly integrate people into crypto, i.e. like smartphones to the internet, for crypto to really go mainstream. Yeah, it's the user-friendly aspect of the space. Apps on your phone, like the Coinbase app, Kraken, whatever. You just download a quick app to your phone, just like Robinhood, right? Robinhood was a big thing for retail investors at the time because you didn't need to go to a broker or open up a Charles Schwab account, anything like this, that the average person, the average millennial, they might not go do that, or they might be confused or not understand what it is, but you make an easy app on your phone. That's the whole point right here of cryptocurrency, is the user-friendly aspect of it. So Chief, good question. Yeah, and I think every month that passes, we see more and more like that for all different types of people. For the younger generations, it's super easy for us to understand, to download an app on your phone. You're good. You can buy Bitcoin whenever you want. Super easy that way. If you're a little bit older, they're now being taken care of as well. Now through their brokerage, through an ETF, you can get exposure that way. Super, super easy. Now, anybody of any age basically knows how to get into the markets now in many different types of ways. ETFs, like I said, Charles Schwab is out here doing their thing now. Big banks, right? The SEC, we just heard an announcement with that. Banks can now act as intermediaries. This is huge for adoption. So every which way, we're seeing it, Chief Diorki, because you know what? The institutions, the banks, even Jamie Dimon, guys, we're crapping on him. We talked about him yesterday. What did he just come out and say? Yeah, blockchain has real utility. Do you know how long that guy fought saying that for? Deep down knowing it. But now he has to, because if he doesn't, they'll get left behind. This is just what's going on. It's absolutely insane to see, and half the world still doesn't get it. It's absolutely insane to see. In another year, another 2 years, this is just going to be normal. It's going to be mainstream. And a lot of your parents, a lot of your friends might actually have exposure to it in their 401ks via their corporation, via their jobs. And they might not even know it. But it's happening. In real time, this is happening. Or something like pay with crypto everywhere. Yeah, I mean, even an integration like that. We're seeing Jack Dorsey do everything he's doing with Square. You're seeing guys, entrepreneurs like the Jack Dorseys of the world build out these protocols and technologies. So again, Chief, I agree with you, and I think you're right. In another couple of years, this is just going to be normal for everybody. Just like you're tapping your normal Wells Fargo card, even on Wells Fargo or even on Chase Bank. right? Or whatever bank that you have. It's probably in a couple of years going to be that seamless because, again, in real time, just this week, just last week, just last month, we're seeing these banks are starting to offer their own cryptocurrency because they have to. It's going to make them money. They're going to get left behind if they don't. Whether it's a stable coin like USDC or Tether, or whether it's Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's already happening. And it's already happening in other countries because other countries don't have a stable currency. So they have to use some sort of other option. And this is the thing that I think like people don't, Americans, maybe people in the UK, people in affluent nations in Europe, I don't think people get this, guys. This is not some stock. Yes, anybody can buy a US stock, right? But Bitcoin and these technologies are global things. It's super easy. Like, again, the pool of investors opens up to a 10x more, 20, 30x more, whatever it is off the top of my head, the population, I can't do the math. But you get what I'm saying here? Bitcoin is a tool that's used by farmers in South Africa or South America. Is anyone in South Africa doing that with Google? No, guys. So the pool of investors for cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology is much different. I don't think the average person understands that. Why do I like Cardano? Because there's a project, Palm, on Cardano that's helping cocoa farmers put their commodities on the blockchain so people can interact with them and purchase around the world. Is Google doing that? No, guys. We're talking about farmers in Africa and stuff like this. And I can capitalize that as an American investor. I can't do that investing in Tesla. I can't do that investing in Microsoft. But I can with ADA. But I can with Bitcoin. Right? People in South America are using Bitcoin as a currency, as an exchange of goods. They're selling a fruit cart. Why don't they use their native currency? Because it sucks. It's inflated away. Their government ruined it. Or they don't even have the infrastructure. They don't have, in some of these rural parts of the world, they don't even have banks. Do you guys, are you starting to get it? So that's something even the US dollar they can't even use. This is a technology that's never been around before. That's genuinely helping people already in such incredible ways. And the media does not show it here. We have to show it. So things like this, live streams like this is the point, guys. This is a new technology that's doing stuff that's never been fathomable before. No one's thought of this. It's absolutely insane. And the Jamie Dimons of the world haven't been commenting about it because he's been scared. Because it's a technology that's kind of making some of his business model and practices irrelevant. So now he has to say, yeah, blockchain's useful. I get it, okay? That's basically what's happening. You heard the man talk yesterday. We covered it yesterday. We're hearing Larry Fink. We covered that yesterday as well. Larry Fink sat down at a summit with Brian Armstrong of Coinbase and said, yeah, I was really wrong. Andrew Ross Sorkin sat next to him of the Squawk Box CNBC and said, Larry, what happened? You used to be the most bearish person. You used to hate Bitcoin. What happened? And Larry said, well, I was wrong. We're allowed to be wrong. We're allowed to take in new data, new information. And that's big of him for saying that. So kudos to him. Shout out to Larry Fink. All right. Depending on how you look at it, I know a lot of people who are just solely degens in this space, hate BlackRock, hate Larry Fink, hate that any institution's buying Bitcoin. They think they're centralizing, etc. Right? 4 million Bitcoin exists from treasuries, guys. So we do have to acknowledge that. 4 million out of 21 million is held by treasuries. It's pretty insane. You can very easily argue centralization with that. But you can't just be some degen that hates all banks and hates any institution and any centralized control. You can't live in a fantasy world, guys. Okay, we've all had some sort of cynical view on this. Even I did when I first got into crypto. Screw the banks. Bah. That's not realistic, guys. That's not what's going to happen. Okay, I know people, look, I'm a fan of Caspa. I talk about Caspa all the time. That's why I love Cardano as well. Two of the best fundamental projects out there that abide by the rules of decentralization, that abide by the rules of genuine security, scalability without the need for a central authority to do it for you. That idea, that concept is so sick to me. That's why I like being in this space. But to say that we're going to create this revolution that's going to make banks never exist again, that's just not realistic. The powers that be would never let that happen, guys. So I think we have to be rational as well. I love Caspa. I think Caspa is one of the best projects in general. Like, that's genuinely how I feel. But guess what, guys? It's at 5 cents. No one's talking about it. Does institutions talk about Caspa? Does anyone? Are there any Caspa ETFs? No, it's not happening. So until I see things like that, maybe I'll allocate more. So anyone who craps on Bitcoin for whatever reason, you got to be rational. You got to be honest. You got to be realistic, guys. That's the number one daddy that everybody around the world, sovereign wealth funds that Michael Saylor's talking to, Wells Fargo, BlackRock, Grayscale, Vanguard, individuals like you and me. Shit, your mom or dad at this point, maybe. Real estate moguls like Grant Cardone. Everybody in the world is looking at Bitcoin right now, guys. So until that changes is when I'll change my tune. But I'm just trying to be realistic. So the name of the game here and what we're trying to look at, okay, is if this is going to start happening here. As soon as we start seeing Bitcoin dominance drop in the short term here, microeconomics, the next couple months or so leading into 2026, yes, we could be looking at an altcoin season in the next couple months into 2026. Okay. But until then, guys, my 2 cents is I'm heavily focused on Bitcoin still. I'm heavily focused on top blue chip altcoins with real utility. That's the name of the game. You want to speculate with memes? Go for it. You want to speculate with other things? Go for it. There's a ton of ways to make money in this space. There's also a ton of ways to lose money in this space. So if you want to learn how to stay safe, what I would suggest and recommend is to subscribe to us here at the Coinzone, because we're going live all the time. We're giving you guys the real up-to-date information every single day during the week. So stay up to date and stay tuned with us. Tomorrow we will be covering live the FOMC meeting. Jerome Powell giving us a speech and a press conference afterwards. Will we be getting rate cuts? I'm assuming so. Everybody and their mother is assuming at least a 25% basis point cut tomorrow. Okay, maybe even a 50. So we'll see, guys. Stay tuned. I'm very bullish, and I'm not going to let stupid retail narratives that people don't know what they're talking about get me shaken out. And I don't think you should either. So stay tuned. Stay hopeful. Let's hope. Let's get it, Kieran. And we're going from there. I love everybody. Thanks for tapping in. Make sure to hit that sub button. Get us more subs than Jamie Dimon. We're reaching for 3K towards the end of the year here. So help us out, guys. Make sure to hit this like button if you like the stream. I'm Crypto with Paul. This is the Coinzone. I'll see you guys again tomorrow.